All right, hey guys, Brenda with RV Outdoors Northwest here, and today's a big day. As you can see, I just brought the slide in. We've got the inside all ready to go. Today is dump day. Okay, so not only is it dump day, today's a very special episode because today I'm going to show you ladies how to hook up to your trailer. I have never done this before on my own. I've always assisted Rich, so full disclosure, I am not really a newbie, if you want to say, as I have done most everything on the hookup, but I have never actually backed the truck up to the rig and physically done it by myself. And I have decided I want to do this. Rich wants me to be able to do this because you never know what's going to happen. We full-time RV, we are constantly in an RV, and if something happens to Rich, he needs to know, and I need to know, that I am capable of hooking up and driving. So today's episode is just the hookup, and I am going to show you what we do outside to get it ready for hookup and then actually physically hooking up. So stay tuned. Let's get this going. Okay, so obviously you got to put your stairs away and put your safety bar across your door. We always lock the door as well. We haven't done that just yet, just in case we might need to get in for something we think we forgot, but we will lock this before we take off. So first thing we do, shut all this down. The next thing we do is Rich and I always do a double walk around. He's already done his walk around on the trailer. I'm now going to go by and do my walk around just like we do inside. I shut everything down, I secure everything down, I say, babe, I'm ready for a walkthrough. He comes back through and just does another look around. The doors are strapped, TVs are strapped, everything's locked in place and stored. And you know, sometimes we find something that, oh, I was in a hurry. He catches it, or vice versa. So walk around is what I'm doing right now. The things I'm looking for is, you can see we've got different command strips on here. We hang stuff out here, security lights and that type of thing. So I'm looking to make sure the hooks are empty, security lights are off. I do a walk by, I make sure this is shut, this is closed correctly, our windows are closed. And then I'm always what I call kicking the chocks. See, that's loose. I want to make sure our chocks are completely where they should be. This RV, our outdoors RV, comes with the auto level. So it's really nice in that I just push a button, we push a button, and it levels it, but it also lifts it off the tires sometimes if need be to bring it up to level. And that's where we want to make sure before we unlevel it and take it back to hitch height, we are securing our tires again. So we kind of kick the chocks. And I'm still looking to make sure all of our lights and everything are off the trailer. And I'm going to come back here and make sure we are properly chocked. And this one got pulled a little bit. You can see that pulled it. So I'm just kicking that, making sure that's back in place. So looking around, everything looks good. Slides are in. And the last thing I always do, I actually do a double take at it, is I make sure our awning is in. We have not done this yet where we've driven away with the awning out, but we've seen a lot of horror videos that actually happens. And not only that it's in, but it's actually in and secured. So you hear about every now and then a big gust of wind comes up and catches it and rips it off as you're rolling down the road. That only happens because it hasn't securely latched itself. So we want to make sure that it is secure. There aren't any pine needles in there that are keeping it from completely shutting, or a wire sticking out or something. So everything looks good. This step is done. Next step, taking it off the level jacks. Okay, so my first oops, Rich just pointed out, is not to unlevel it, but it actually is to make sure that the hoses for your water and electric are unhooked and properly put away and secured. We're at my parents' place right now, so it's a little different in that we don't have water hookup and our electric is off their 30 amp off over here. So we're not really putting everything away. We're just going out to dump, so we're coming right back. So I think that it was an easy thing for me to not think about, but I'm glad he pointed it out, because this is something that we do before we unlevel the trailer and pick it off its jacks. So I'm going to do that right now. We've got an extension cord here, so I'm just going to undo this one, and then we just move the extension cord out of the way. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull it through here. And again, we're not leaving, we're coming right back, my poor parents. They can't get rid of us. Anyway, but we do need to detach it from the trailer, and let's see if I can do this. Rich normally does this part. So turn it to the left, and boom, we're detached. Normally we would wind it up and put it in the basement, but again, we're coming right back, so I'm just going to set it off to the side here. Okay, shut this down, latch it. Now we can unlevel it. So our outdoors RV, we call it the ORV, is a little different from others in that we do have the automatic level and retract all and hitch height and all that. So it's a little different than the others. I mean, our Jayco trailer has the hand crank that you do. We get a little workout with it. This is nice and easy. I love this actually. So what we do is, if Rich can show that in there. So we're just gonna hit both buttons to activate the system. Hold it for a couple seconds. Light is on. Now we hit retract all. It's flashing, and I don't know that you can hear it, but let's go back because it starts back here. Jacks are coming up. This is a good sign. Okay, so the leveling jacks have all come up. And now we go in and we hit hitch height. So this trailer is equipped with the hitch height button, which is really cool because it remembers where we were when we detached from the truck the last time. So we shouldn't have to change where this hitch height is once we hook up to the truck or when we're backing in. It should automatically be right where it needs to be. So now while this is going on, I'm going to walk around and I'm going to now pick up all of the blocks that were underneath the leveling jacks. At the same time, I'm going to make sure that those leveling jacks have actually been brought up. So put my gloves back on, because you never know what's been crawling around on these buggers while they've been parked. And get these all picked up. Okay, we're back to hitch height. All the jacks are up, all the leveling blocks are put away. Now it's time to get the hitch on the truck and the truck ready to back it up. It's getting exciting. Okay, so this hitch is a huge beast of a hitch. We have a 7,000+ pound RV. So the hitch has to be pretty big and hefty as well. So this is something that I do not move on my own. It's too big, too awkward, and just too heavy. So I always have Rich help me with this. We do it together as a team. He doesn't even like to do it on his own. But if I were in a situation where he wasn't available, I would just simply go next door and ask a neighbor to assist, either at an RV park or next door to my parents' neighbor's house or wherever you are. Get assistance. I guarantee you someone will help you. No one's going to say no unless they physically can't do it. So always ask for help. Don't be ashamed to do that. So I'm going to ask Rich to put the camera down and help me right now. Babe, you got this?
Got it.
Something that Rich has pointed out, and he always does this, is he always leaves the hitch pin and cotter pin attached to the actual hitch so that when you go to use it, this part isn't somewhere else. It's always attached to the item that we need it to be attached to. So first I just got to take this apart, and then I'm going to put this back on the tailgate of the truck so that it's right there when we need it after we get this in. Oh, it's a beast. There we go. Pin is in, cotter pin is in. And these bars are the sway control. So, that one's tough. These move. And when you're getting ready to back up, you want to make sure that these bars are out. They're extended. If you have them in like this, you can't back up to your hitch and connect that way. This will get pinned. So you want them open and wide so that you've got lots of room to move in and lots of room to maneuver when you get in here with the hitch hooked up. So these right here go with the stabilizing bars. Now, while the truck's heating up and we're getting ready to move that into position, we just take these off, set them up there, and that way it's ready for the stabilizing bars. Again, you always want to keep these with the rig. Put it back in. Even though you're not attached to anything, put it back in. It's always right there where you need it. So these are ready to go. This is the part that I get really nervous about. This is the one thing I have not done ever. Backing up the truck to the trailer. Up to this point, I've done everything else, assisted, I should say, but this is the one thing I've never done. So I'm really nervous right now. But Rich has been giving me a few pointers and we're gonna see how I do. I do have a backup camera here, which is huge. Certainly it just makes life a little bit easier. I don't know if you can see all this back there, but it's certainly gonna help me with my backup. But Rich is also going to be here assisting me. It's always better to have two people than one every time you do this. Certainly you can do it yourself, but it's a lot more in and out and that type of thing. So it's nice to have Rich back there giving me a little bit of this, a little bit of this, whatever I need. So here we go. Another good point, in fact, and that Rich just pointed out to me, is the key in all of this is take your time. Do not be in a rush. Don't just throw it in reverse and slam on the gas. You are going to fail. You are going to cause problems. If nothing else, you'll give your neighbors heart failure. So go slow. You can always adjust little bits here and there. Take it slow. Don't worry about what's going on around you. If anybody is in a hurry around you, that's their problem, not yours. So I'm going to take it slow.
Come back. Come back. Back, back, perfect.
Okay, in position. It only took me 2 times, so I'm pretty happy about that. But right now we're just gonna put the hitch onto, or the trailer onto the hitch, I guess, the ball. Okay, if we're on correctly, this should slide down. Oh, there. Is that right? That's good. Okay. And Rich always keeps the pin right there when it's not where it needs to be. Holy smokes, this is difficult. Oh, there. Oh, it's not difficult. Okay. That's done. Okay, so I'm just going to step over because I think it's a little bit easier to talk about the sway bars. This is what we do next. And you can lift them up. There's a little bit of play, but as you can see, it's not going on. So what we do is we then go up a little bit. Once we're attached to the ball, the whole thing's going to lift back up. And look at that. Slides right on. Then we can put this on. That's locked in. Super. Okay, let's get the other side. And sometimes you may not be level and everything, so we'll see if this slides on, and it does. Sometimes one side goes on easier than the other and we still have to go up or down. So this one slid on real nice like. We're hooked up. That's good. Okay, next we're gonna put our chains on. This is a handy little thing that the ORV community gives you when you buy an ORV. It's connected right there so you can hang all your apparatuses up there. And so we're just gonna hang those down along with the brake. Get that off of there and put it down there. So when you're doing the chains, you always wanna make sure that they're crossed. They already are crossed. So this one is just gonna go right here. And then this one connects over here. my glove out of the way. There we go. So something to keep in mind, and a little bit of tidbit of information, ours don't dangle really much at all. They're exactly where they need to be for our truck and trailer. But some people have some that are really long. If they do hang down, you don't want them dragging on the ground. So a good thing to do is to just twist it a few times and then hook it up. See how that tightened it up? And that's too tight for us. But that gives you an idea of something that you can do. Should your chains be a little bit long, we don't need to do that, so we're just gonna hook it right up. Now, this is the emergency brake system for the trailer, and I need to know exactly where to put this, babe. Am I just gonna hook it up right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because as you can see here, Rich already has it through the chains. So if the trailer were to come unhooked, this would then pull out, and there's a pin up here, back in the back here, that would pull it, and all the brakes on the trailer would go on. So it's just your emergency brake, and we're just gonna hook that on there right next to the chain. So that's all ready to go. Does that look good, hun?
Perfect.
Cool. All right. Next, we're gonna get our electric hooked up. We've got the 7-way pin, and oh, there we go. It looks like it just lines up right there in that hole there. And it's in. Does that look good, hun?
Perfect.
Oh, and it does kind of hook behind that, so that's kind of nice. I just realized that. So that's in. So we've got the electric hooked up, the chains are hooked up, emergency brakes hooked up, sway bars are connected. Now it's time to bring the jack all the way up. Retract the device. Okay, so I've got the jack all the way up. I'm just pulling the blocks, and since we are coming back, I'm just going to toss them over here out of the way. And then they're there when we come back. Normally we put them in the back of the truck, so it's easy to just grab them out and stick them down when we do get to our next destination, but we are coming back. And at this point, we are fully connected and ready to roll. The only thing left to do are the chocks that we kicked earlier. The other side came out really good. This one's coming out as well. Got it. Let's grab this guy back here. Oh, got it. So we actually do have a TPMS tire pressure monitoring system on our ORV, so it monitors it in the truck, and on the dashboard we've got a system there that shows us the weight of all the tires, the pressure I should say of all our tires. We did check them, they're all good to go. So normally we always check these before, I should say Rich checks these before we take off. So this is one of those things you always have to make sure your tires are good to go as well. So next we're going to check our lights on the trailer and make sure the lights are working, brakes and blinkers. Something to keep in mind, not all rigs are the same obviously, but on the Tundra we have the option for auto for the headlights and for turning them on. Just there, you turn them on manually. So we usually run with the lights on auto when we're just driving down the road, but when we're towing, this cuts off the lights on the trailer, so we have to turn them to on. And that was something we had to learn right off the get-go, was that we had no lights until we turned it to on. So lights are on. Rich is going to run back and we're going to test our lights.
Blinker. Blinker. Brake.
Okay, so that does it. We're all hooked up, we're ready to roll, and I'm super proud of myself because I did most of it myself. Rich had to coach me in a couple of places. I hope that you found this video helpful. Next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna go dump, and I am going to drive for the first time, pulling the ORV, and I'm going to do the dumping. So that should be highly entertaining. Highly encourage you to watch the next video that's coming out. That will have all that on there. But for right now, that's it for today. I hope you found this informative and enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Ding the bell, give us the thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.